Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all, and let's just get right into this review. So this episode picks up where the last one left off, where Shay ended up inviting Amara, Flo, and Ching Diamond to her Detox tea event, but things immediately ended up taking a left turn between Amara and Flo when Shay pushed the two of them to have a conversation before they were ready to. Now, they immediately start going at each other, taking shots at one another and calling each other names. Amara immediately ended up bringing up that she feels like Flo is messed up because she sells bleaching cream to black women, and she said that she's trying to teach black women not to love themselves. But Flo obviously denied this. She said that it's not bleaching cream, that it's turmeric soap or turmeric cream that helps with hyperpigmentation and dark spots, and that it has nothing to do with bleaching. And so she feels like Amara is painting a false narrative about her product. So they start going back and forth with each other, and basically Flo brings up the disrespectful things that Allan said to Amara last season about her skin color and calling her out of her name, which I thought was unnecessary for Flo to bring up, because using that against Amara didn't make her look good. It didn't make Allan look good either. I think Allan was wrong for saying what he said, and that's why a lot of people don't like him now, because of the comments that he made towards Amara. I mean, he had children with this woman, and that's the names that he's calling her and the things that he's saying about her. Like, that was terrible. And then Flo ends up saying that dark-skinned women are jealous of light-skinned women, and it turns into this whole big controversy at this party. And so Shay immediately tries to calm the situation down because she feels like things are going too far, and things definitely went too far. Flo was definitely wrong for bringing up skin color in the conversation. I definitely think that things went too far, and I don't think that it was a good idea for Shay to push Amara and Flo to have a conversation with each other, because it's obvious that they don't like each other, and it's too soon for the two of them to have a conversation. So I know Shay thought she was doing the right thing by pushing them to talk, but it definitely was not the right thing to do, and it wasn't the right time. And now people are saying that they want Flo off the show, just like Erica Mena got fired from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for making comments similar to the comments that, you know, Flo made to Amara. And then it's pretty obvious that Allan has been telling Flo a lot of him and Amara's business, because she brought up some of the things that he was telling her when they were having conversations during this argument with her and Amara. She brought up the fact that Amara wasn't a good person because she won't allow her daughters to meet the children that Allan already has. And so Amara's definitely feeling some type of way about Allan. And if you thought the drama stopped there, it did not, because then Ching Diamond ends up doing her performance, and she's taking shots at Shay while she's doing the performance because she feels some type of way about Shay selling Detox tea. And then she also feels some type of way because Zoe told her that Shay was talking about her weight when the two of them had an argument with each other. So she's just trying to defend Zoe. So she starts talking shit to Shay basically on the microphone, which I thought was distasteful, because you're literally performing at Shay's event, and I didn't think that it was necessary for her to go about it the way that she did. And Shay didn't even want to deal with it, so she ended up shutting down the event immediately, and she goes to her car really upset and pissed off. And obviously Amara goes to the car to check on Shay, but she's trying to tell Shay that she needs to clear her name with Ching Diamond so that people don't think that she has a problem with people who are overweight. And so she agrees to go inside and talk to Ching Diamond. She tells Shay that the comments that she made about Zoe's weight affects all big women, which I don't understand where she's coming from with that, because Shay was obviously clearly only talking to Zoe. Do I think that it was necessary for her to bring up Zoe's weight in an argument? No, I don't think it was necessary for her to do that. However, people do that in arguments a lot of the times, like they take shots at each other. I've seen bigger women call skinny women skinny bitches in an argument. So I feel like it goes both ways. However, I do understand why Ching feels some type of way about it, because she's a bigger woman as well, and she's also friends with Zoe. Now, Shay did admit that she did not have to make the comments about Zoe's body. However, she felt like Ching Diamond needed to get the full story before making a decision on whose side she was on, because she feels like Zoe is the one that started the issue in the first place by showing up to an event, pulling her to the side, and pulling out a pregnancy test that was of her sister's, claiming that she was pregnant by Fabo. And she feels like, you know, Zoe didn't fact check that before she brought it to her attention. Shay said that she was triggered because she literally just lost a baby by Fabo, and then she's finding out from Zoe that he's having a baby with somebody else. I can understand how that would trigger Shay, but I feel like this situation between Zoe and Shay it can be worked out. I'm not saying that they have to be friends, but I do feel like they can have a conversation about it. And obviously, Shay did make it clear that the only reason why she called Zoe out of her name is because Zoe jumped up like she wanted to fight during the conversation that they were having with her sister and Fabo. And I know that Zoe was just trying to defend her sister. However, her sister put her in the middle of some drama that she didn't even need to be in. So Ching Diamond now has the full story, and she said that she was going to try to get Zoe to agree to meet up with Shay so that they can work out whatever issues that they have, because she likes Shay and Zoe. So Trina is in the studio recording for her audiobook, and Joy, Swurv, and Snoop all show up to support her, and she basically tells them that because the song that her and Swurv did together is about to release, she wants to do a song release party, and she wants it to be couples themed, so everybody has to show up with somebody that they're a couple with. And basically they look at Joy because obviously she's single, she's not seeing anybody at the moment, but she said that it's fine. She says she's absolutely not showing up with Trick, but that she'll definitely show up with somebody else because she has somebody in mind, which I was confused about because we really haven't seen Joy talk to anybody in a romantic type of way. Now, when Trina ends up leaving the room, that's when Joy takes the time to talk to Snoop and Swurv by themselves and tells them that she doesn't know if Hawt Topic is telling the truth about Bobby being the one that went behind Trina's back and leaked the information about her getting married, because she feels like everybody is trying to pin it on her. Now, Joy said that she doesn't know what to believe, and Snoop cut in and said that basically he feels like maybe the reason why Hawt Topic is so invested in the relationship is because she doesn't think that Swurv is good for Trina. And Swurv said that he doesn't care, and that, you know, obviously Hawt Topic is entitled to her opinion. However, he doesn't care about her opinion because the only person that he has to prove himself to is Trina. And that is true. The only person that he has to prove himself to is Trina. Trina obviously said that she doesn't care about what anybody has to say about her marriage. And so I don't understand why they're still making this a conversation and a storyline this season, because if Trina says she doesn't want to hear anything about it and she doesn't care, I don't understand why everybody's stressing themselves out about it. Now, Joy does encourage Swurv to agree to meet up with Hawt Topic so that they can clear things up, and he agreed to. Trick is starting to get annoyed at this point with the Hollywood twins because so far he's been trying to help them with their music career, and every time he gets them in the studio, they really don't finish the studio session. So he starts going off on them, saying that they didn't finish the last session that he set up. And obviously one of the twins, I think her name is Asia, is upset with her other sister Deja because she feels like Deja is the reason why they did not finish the studio session, because she was too focused on Trick's son. And she ends up having a conversation with Trick's son in this episode, and she's asking him if he wants to go with her to Trina's couples party so that they can actually go public with their relationship. But he was saying that he did not want to do that. I don't think he really wants anything with Deja. I think it's just fun for him. I don't think that he's interested in going public or having a relationship with her. Honestly, I don't think that they should have been messing around in the first place, considering they're all living under the same roof as Trick. But at the end of the day, I think they could be honest with Trick. I really don't think that he would care if they were messing around with each other. Them hiding it, I think, is what's going to be the issue. Now, Zoe is in the gym boxing because she said that it's helping her lose weight, which you can definitely tell that she has been losing some weight from based on how she looked last season. And she definitely said that boxing has helped her, you know, lower her blood pressure, which I think is great because your health is really important and you have to take control of it. However, I was confused as to why she was so upset about Shay having a detox tea for weight loss, even though she's actually trying to lose weight. Like, she doesn't have to use Shay's product, but she is trying to lose weight. So I don't understand why she's upset about Shay having a detox tea to help people in the process of trying to detox their body and lose weight. Like, I just didn't understand what the issue was. If she's trying to lose weight, what's the issue with somebody making a product to help other people lose weight as well? But Ching Diamond ends up showing up and she talks to Zoe about her meetup with Shay and says that Shay actually told her the full story about everything that went on, and she feels like Zoe kind of set her up a little bit because she didn't tell her the full story of how things really went down. And Zoe said that, you know, even if they did get into an argument about her sister lying about being pregnant by Fabo, she still doesn't think that it was necessary for Shay to bring up her weight. And it is true, it wasn't necessary for Shay to bring up her weight. However, I've seen it done before on both sides. I've seen big women call skinny women skinny bitches in an argument, and I've seen skinny women call big women big bitches in an argument. That's just something people use in arguments. statements. Do I think that it's right? No, but I've definitely heard it before. I do think that Shay was wrong for that, and Shay did admit that she was wrong for that when she talked to Ching Diamond. However, I do think that it was important for Zoe to tell the full story, although Ching Diamond kind of jumped the gun a little bit anyway, because she really doesn't know Zoe to be showing up to Shay's event and going off on Shay based off something that Zoe told her. Now, what was weird to me in this episode is that Joy ends up meeting up with Unique, you know, the woman that Trick was saying that he wanted to rekindle a relationship with, but he ended up cutting things off with her because she ended up meeting up with Joy, and that really pissed him off. And then he felt like she was being a clout chaser, so he ended up cutting things off with her. And I thought that it was weird that Joy and her kind of linked up with each other. They definitely can relate because both of them have dealt with Trick in this type of situation, and both of them can agree that he is a little bit controlling. I don't know if he is, but based on their experiences with him, they claim that he's controlling, and that's the reason why things really did not work out. Now, there was definitely a lot of flirty energy between Joy and Unique, but it didn't seem authentic to me. Like, they don't really seem like they're into each other, especially Joy. Joy didn't really seem like she was into Unique. It seemed like Unique was more into her based on the story, but I just felt like it was weird seeing the two of them flirt with each other because I just don't think they're really interested in one another. Maybe it's their way of trying to get back at Trick, because Joy did ask her to go with her to Trina's event, and that's a couples event, and Trick is definitely going to be there. Now, Snoop ends up setting up a meetup between Swurv and Hawt Topic to clear things up, and he's only there to be the mediator so that things don't take a left turn between the two of them. And basically, Swurv wants to know why Hawt Topic has an issue with him being married to Trina. And she said that ever since he came around, Trina has been very distant, so that's a jealousy thing. She feels like because Trina is with Swurv, she doesn't have enough time for her anymore, even though she didn't have to go this route by being messy and getting too involved in Trina's business. She could have just pulled Trina to the side and had a conversation with her about it to try to fix the situation instead of getting too messy in her business. Then she starts asking Swurv what his intentions are with Trina, which everybody is questioning if he has genuine intentions for her, but he said that he was not answering that question because the only person that has to know his intention is Trina. And I understand where he's coming from. However, I really don't like that he won't answer any questions because it makes it seem like he has something to hide. However, that's nobody's business. If Trina is okay with it, then they need to be okay with it too. But he did say that he feels attacked by Hawt Topic because she met up with this woman who claims that he's the father of her child, and he just felt like, you know, Hawt Topic was doing that to be messy and to stir up drama. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely was messy of her to meet up with this woman who claims that Swurv is the father of her child. However, if he really is the father of this woman's child, they need to get that situation figured out to begin with. But Trina says she didn't care about it, so once again, I don't understand why Hawt Topic cares more than Trina does. But Hawt Topic ends up blaming Bobby for everything in this conversation. I mean, she's the one who said that Bobby is the one who got the email from this woman claiming to be the mother of Swerve's child, and he's the one who brought it to Hawt Topic's attention, and then he walked away, left the country, and left her to be the one holding all this information. And look, I don't like that she's trying to blame Bobby for it, because even though Bobby did get the email, he didn't go spread it around and dig into Trina's business and start, you know, meeting up with this woman and trying to get information on Swerve. He didn't do any of that. He just showed you an email. So I don't know why she's trying to put the blame on Bobby and take it off herself, but that's what it's giving to me. Now, I have to admit, I was a little bit nervous about Ching Diamond trying to play mediator between Shay and Zoe, because every time somebody tries to play the mediator, things end up taking a left turn. I mean, look what just happened when Shay tried to be the mediator between Flo and Amara. Things took a complete left turn, and now Flo might be off the show because of comments that she made that was very disrespectful. But the conversation between Zoe and Shay actually went really well because they both admitted where they went wrong. Shay said that she was wrong for bringing up Zoe's weight when they were arguing with each other, but said that she felt some type of way about Zoe bringing her this information about Fabo and her sister without fact checking to make sure it was right, because it put a lot of stress on her for no reason at all. And Zoe did admit that she was wrong for bringing the information, especially the pregnancy test, to Shay without fact checking if her sister was actually telling the truth about Fabo, but she didn't think that her sister would lie about something like that. And I understand where she's coming from, because why would somebody lie about being pregnant by somebody else's man, even if they've never met them before? Like, to me, that was messy of her sister, and that's a conversation that Zoe's gonna have to have with her sister for putting her in this mess in the first place. However, she did say that she still feels some type of way about Shay talking about her weight, because she felt like it was completely unnecessary when they were having their little back and forth. And I agree, and Shay agreed too, so she definitely apologized to her, and Zoe ended up apologizing to Shay too. I'm glad that they were able to work out whatever issues that they have, because to be honest with you, the issue is actually with Zoe's sister. Now, Allan and Amara end up having a conversation in this episode, and it didn't really go well because she was upset with him because when her and Flo were having their back and forth, Flo mentioned some things that she wouldn't have known unless Allan told her, like the comment she made about Amara not letting her children meet Allan's other kids, and she knows that that came from Allan because nobody else knew about it except for Allan. So she confronts him about it because when he showed up, he was trying to act like everything's all good. He's definitely fake. He does not like Amara. He talks bad about Amara. I don't like that she was so calm with Allan though. I mean, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have gone as hard on Flo as she did because Flo definitely made some disrespectful comments. However, so has Allan, and I felt like she was just being too calm during the conversation with him, and it makes me wonder if something's still going on between the two of them because if you remember, when she was going back and forth with Flo during their argument at Shay's tea party, she said that Allan still wants her, so I'm wondering if something is actually still going on between the two of them, and if there is something going on between the two of them, I'm kind of disappointed in Amara because the comments that he made about her skin color and the way that he's been treating her this season and last season, I think it's stupid if she is still messing around with him. But he said that he was going to have a conversation with Flo about the things that she was saying to Amara, but he really doesn't care. I just feel like he's being messy, and his head is too gassed up too. Like, Amara is way too pretty and too talented to be giving this guy any attention because as soon as she brought it to his attention that she got into it with Flo, he immediately said that it was because Amara was jealous that he was spending time with another woman, and I literally don't think that that's the case. So it's the day of Trina's single release party, you know, for the song that she did with Swurv. And obviously she wanted it to be a couple's theme. So she wanted people to show up with their significant other. And basically everybody was kind of shocked because Joy walked in basically arm in arm with this woman Unique. And Trick is right there and he sees them basically linked up with each other. And he obviously immediately feels some type of way. Now he's at first thinking that they're just playing around and they're just trying to get back at him because he feels like there's no way that something's going on between the two of them. So he pulls Bobby to the side and he tells Bobby to get Joy away from Unique because she's a clout chaser and she's basically trying to use Joy. So Bobby said that he was going to go over there to try to do something about it. And when he walks over there, Trina's already checking Joy about showing up with Unique because she feels like it's distasteful for her to show up with somebody that Trick was just linked to. Which I definitely do think that it's messy, but I don't think that Joy wants Unique and I don't think Unique wants Joy. I just think they're being messy for the storyline, but Trina definitely told her that she was wrong. And to take the heat off herself, Joy ended up bringing down the Hollywood twins and Trick's son because she said it out loud to everybody that there's something going on with one of the twins and Trick's son. So Trick overhears this and he's upset because everybody's talking about what's going on in his house and he doesn't know anything about it. So he ends up pulling the Hollywood twins and his son aside and he asks them if there's something going on between them, and they admit that there was something going on between the two of them. But Trick said that he didn't even care. He said that they can do whatever they want to do. They're grown and they're not real cousins. But he does feel some type of way about them making him look stupid because everybody at the party is talking about it and he's the only one in the dark not knowing what's going on. So he gets so upset about not knowing what was going on in his house and about Joy showing up with Unique that he left before Trina was able to even show the video. Now, even more drama ends up happening because Hawt Topic shows up and she shows up with a vengeance because she wants to get back at Bobby. She wants to take all the heat off herself and make everybody look at Bobby like he's the one that's being messy in this whole situation. And she's happy because Bobby, Trina, and Swurv are finally all in the same place. So she walks in and she immediately puts Bobby on blast, saying that he was actually the one that was being messy because he was the one that ended up showing her the email from the woman that claimed that she was the mother of Swerve's child, and he showed it to her and then he left, leaving all the information in her hands, making it look like she was the one being messy. Now Bobby tried to explain himself, saying that the only reason why he showed her the email is because he wanted her advice on what he should do with the email and if he should give it to Trina to show her what's going on. Now I don't know why Hawt Topic is trying to make it seem like Bobby is the one being messy in this situation. Yes, it's easy to believe because Bobby is usually very messy and he's always in everybody's business, but this time he was not being messy because the thing about it is that he didn't take what was in that email and then go meet up with the woman who sent the email trying to be messy and get information on Swurv. He wasn't the one that did that. That was Hawt Topic. He also wasn't the one constantly talking about Trina being married and how upset he was that he didn't know about it. That was Hawt Topic. She was the one being messy in the situation. Even if he did give that information from the email to her, she's the one who took it and ran with it. So how is that his fault that she was the one being nosy and ran with whatever information that he gave her? He actually did tell tell Trina about the information he got too, and the email. It was in one of the episodes, and I reviewed it in one of the reviews on my channel, where he did tell Trina about it, and she said she didn't care. So I don't think that he was being messy. Now, Swerve was trying to get them to be quiet because he didn't want the party ruined, but Hawt Topic and Bobby kept going back and forth, so he felt disrespected, so he took a drink off the table and he poured it on Bobby's head. And I think he was wrong for that. I mean, Bobby wasn't the one that started the drama at their party in the first place. It was Hawt Topic, so she should have been the one that was asked to leave, or Bobby could have got up and walked away from the situation. But him pouring a drink on his head, to me, was wrong. I think that was doing too much. I don't think he had to do that. Trina did tell him to stop and not to do it, but he did it anyway. So I don't know, the whole situation was messy. None of this would have been happening had people not been involved in Trina's business in the first place.